Hey, how's it going? Tom here, come at you from inside the code today because it's my YouTube channel, so why not do something stupid like this? Okay, I want to talk about to-do comments and how most comments that I run across in my day-to-day are not great. To-do comments are not great. This is, open source comments everywhere. You see them everywhere, and they're just not great. And I've got an example here of a very bad to-do comment. So you've got this function called validate, and it's going to do some kind of logic, and the logic isn't great right now. So we're saying right here, right there, okay, to do, use a map. Okay, and that is a terrible to do comment. Maybe you're guilty of writing one like that. I've done that before. Okay, so here's why it's bad. So first of all, you need to uppercase this thing, right? So lowercase to do, to you and me, it means something, but to most editors, it doesn't mean anything. And if you're using a tool that's going to look for to-dos in your code base, it's probably going to assume that they are uppercase, right? So it's got to be the word to-do, just like that. I think with a colon at the end is okay. Yeah, but with like an X at the end, no, that's not okay. So it's got to be like that. Your editor will let you know if you've done it right? So if you do it wrong, no, not good. All right, next. It's hard to know who actually wrote this comment. Now you might think, okay, well, I'm really smart. I'm going to check git blame, and I'll be able to see that Thomas Stephen, that's me, that wrote that comment. And yeah, that works sometimes. That works sometimes until you go and ask Thomas Stephen. They say, oh, no, I just refactored that file. I guess Git thinks I did that. And then you go back and you finally find the person, and they say, oh, no, I copied that from a different file. I just copied the to-do. I thought it was important. So you actually have no idea where it came from. Like you might be able to guess. You might be able to see who did it. Not always. Okay, number 3. For the same reason, it's really hard to know when this to-do was actually added. It could have been added, a week ago. Could have been added 3 years ago. And are you more likely to delete a comment from 3 years ago or a week ago? I'm really not sure. Like sometimes it feels like I shouldn't delete that. It's been around for so long. But you really have no idea. Okay, when was this actually put in? Who put it in? Okay, number 4, no estimated completion date. So this to-do up here has no completion date. We don't know when it's supposed to be done by. So it could live on forever and forever, right? And so if you had it to do, estimated completion date, you say it's going to be about 4 weeks from now, or maybe it's going to be in the next week. People will look at it 3 years from now and say, okay, well, this is clearly never going to get done, so we can delete it. But without that, people think, oh, maybe someone's going to do it soon. Who knows? Okay, number 5, no one is responsible for it. The comment hasn't said who's going to do this thing, right? And so you might think the person who wrote it has to do it. That's not always the case. They might say, I wrote it down so people in the future know to do it. I wasn't going to do it, right? So no one's going to do it because there's no one responsible for it. Last one, the instructions are super unclear. To do, use a map. Okay, use a map. Why? Why are we doing that? Like, what would the map? What's the purpose of this, right? So yeah, this is a really bad to do comment, and hopefully on the right here we have what I would consider to be a better to do comment. Okay, so here's it does all the things that I've asked for on the left, right? So it's uppercase, so you can actually see it. You can see who wrote the comment because I have put my name right there, Tom. You can know when it was added because I put the rough time period that it was added. There's an estimated completion date, and I wrote right here, I will do this. So somebody looks at this later on and says, oh, Tom, you said you were going to do this. And I go, yeah, true enough, I did. So I'm actually responsible for it. So it's not just going to sneak along forever with no one really being sure who's going to do it. And then finally, I think the instructions right here are pretty good. At least they're better than the instructions right there, in my opinion. So what you're left with is a to-do comment that's understandable, actionable, and accountable, right? We know who's going to do it, and we know when they said they're going to do it by. All right, here's today's challenge. Go grep your code base, see how many times you have terrible to-do comments like that one right in there. Okay, anyway, thanks for tolerating this.